Follow the prophet.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid!
Follow the prophet.
That the Constitution, as prophesied by Joseph Smith, will not be saved in Washington.
Oh, Travis Wingoodsell. Got snow this morning during my run. And here we are at the end of the world. We're about to have the Civil War, martial law, whatever you want to call it, the Insurrection Act. Trump's going to do it. He promised it. It's going to happen. He got rid of the Pentagon guys, replaced them with his loyalists. So yeah, it's going to happen. The sad thing is that the liberal media keep giving out false hope. Oh, Trump won't do that. He won't cross that line. Then Trump crosses that line. Then they get all offended. Oh, this is horrible. This is an outrage. And then they do it again. Say, oh, he will not cross this line then. And when something does happen, they go, oh, see, Trump has learned his lesson now. He will never do it again. And then he crosses the line again. So yes, this is his plan. This is his intention. He has planned this from the beginning. This is why he calls himself a stable genius. He purposely looks dumb. He came from the 80s with the dumb blonde era. Remember that? Women took advantage of that to fool men and outsmart them.
Oh, I dropped my purse. Oh, could you help a damsel in distress? See ya, sucker and loser.
And so, yeah, this... Because I'm a blonde, yeah. Great music, but... Yeah. So, yeah, I got assaulted again today with a comment by a Mormon who is calling me out. He claims I'm the man like Moses. And I've never declared myself as the man like Moses. I've been trying to educate those who find my videos as to how you can know for yourself. And I've gone over all the prophets. We got to check for everybody, right? Not a single one of them passes. Why? Because there are prophecies throughout all Scripture. The fulfillment must be fulfilled. Because Jesus said so in the Scriptures. But if you're going to use a character from Scripture, you have to abide by Scripture in order to identify him. You can't just create some read, ponder, pray feeling person to fulfill it. And the problem that this abuser had is that he's thinking in terms of his false Christ. He believes in a supernatural being who will single-handedly fix everything in the world. Huh, wouldn't that be nice? I don't have to do anything. I'll just let my God take care of it. Yeah, that's not our doctrine, Mormons. I've gone over the Scriptures, and this guy is aware of them as well. He's been following several of my videos in order to make the comment that he did on the video about where is it? Yeah, seditious federal judge of LDS Church back from vacation, which talks nothing of the man like Moses. So clearly he's been one of those who have been putting a thumbs down, at least recently, and has now finally exposed himself as I triggered him into the open so that I can ban him from my channel, never to put a thumbs down ever again. So expect his thumbs down to be deleted from your viewing, because notice I've allowed you to see the bullies and the abusers. And so not only did Joseph Smith say that he's supposed to be a Mormon, that he's supposed to lead Mormons out of Utah, doesn't say Utah, but that's where the church got fled to in the wilderness under the apostate assassin of Joseph Smith and Hiram. Even though it does fulfill the prophecies, top of the mountains. And so, yes, one of the prophecies, as this guy is aware of, is that this man like Moses is supposed to be suing the church in federal court, demanding to let Mormons go. Not just him. See, this he does not understand. He thinks it's all for this man like Moses' pride and glory, not for the sake of humanity. Again, when you start with a false belief, you end down the wrong path. You're not following the iron rod. You're not holding to the rod, the iron rod. Does bright and great and green, whatever the lyrics are. I don't memorize. Though I should do better with the music, but I don't do well with others in pop culture either. And so this is what I've been fearing, is because the enemy is purposely causing all of this, purposely fulfilling biblical prophecy of destruction, mayhem, violence, death, for the sole purpose of destroying religious beliefs. So this guy, as abusive as he thinks he is, taking it out on me, as if I'm the one to blame for all this, does not understand that when he creates a bigger false hope for himself, it creates a greater trauma when that hope fails. This is why I'm concerned about the liberal press continually giving out this false hope, because it's going to lead to trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And the systematic trauma infusion into Americans' brains is just going to cause a collapse, a submission to our bullies and abusers, which is Trump. And so the liberal press are in effect aiding and abetting Trump, even though they get up there and trash him and laugh at him and mock him and say, oh, he's a bully, but when you say, oh, he'll never cross this line, and then he crosses it, what does that do to the viewers who had the hope that, oh, Trump will never cross it? They said so. I have faith in them. And then they dash your faith. They dash your hope. They just crush it because they were promoting a false hope. They weren't reporting the news. And this is why I've been upset with John Dehlin and others of ex-Mormonism, because they too give out false hope. Yes, they trash the church. Church is bad, church is evil, oh, this is stupid, oh, this is what cults do, oh, ha ha ha, this is a funny tradition. But then the church continues to be legitimized. The church then says, oh, we're being victims of bullying behavior of ex-Mormons. They just don't like us for our religious beliefs. And that solidifies the church. It does not destroy them. You destroy the church with the truth. And so, fine. Let's hypothetically say, as this abuser claims, that I'm the guy. How is anybody going to know and believe? If I just tell you, hey, I'm him, how many of you are literally going to believe? And how many of you are going to laugh and make fun of me and do what this abuser did and blah, blah, blah? What am I expected to be so that you would believe? Do you even know the prophecies of which to judge me as to whether I'm supposed to be him or not? If you remember the movie Braveheart with Mel Gibson, and all Mormons don't because it was a rated R movie, and you're not allowed to see rated R movies because R-rated movies are an idol-worshipping god of fear and evil. But in the movie Braveheart, he assembles the troops together to do battle, and he announces himself, I am William Wallace. And then people in the crowd start yelling out, you're not him, you're supposed to be 8 feet tall and shooting fire from your arse, and blah, blah, blah. They had created in their mind who his identity was supposed to be, and he didn't measure up. And so he knew it, and he threw it right back at him. Yeah, I'm supposed to be this and do this and that. And they all laughed. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got punked. Do you understand that you're being punked as to who you're supposed to be waiting for? He's a mortal man. First of all, the Book of Mormon tells us. The Jews know. That's the understanding from the Old Testament. It's those Christians since Constantine. Constantine's the one who created the supernatural being for the first time ever. Created a whole new, brand new Greek word, homoousios. People still to this day do not fully grasp the meaning of it because it was new. And they claim, well, maybe it's a combination of these two words that are similar. They have no clue. He just created it. Said, this is now your God. Live with it. And it's now become known as the Trinity. And all the supernatural powers attributed to him come from that. Now, yes, the Romans, the Greeks, even the Egyptians portray in the stories their deities as having supernatural powers too. The Egyptians especially even had space aliens. And so are we supposed to take these literally? Or are we supposed to understand them in what they are meant to be, and that the parables and metaphors are derived from these stories? And so, if you're looking for a mortal, does mortals have magical powers like this abuser said I'm supposed to have? Is he just supposed to make it all happen and fix the world instantly? Are you really that dumb to believe that? the enemy of the world, who are purposely causing all this chaos, they're waiting for the slight chance that these prophets may have been on to something. But they know he's supposed to be mortal. And so they know that if he does emerge, they'll just murder him. He has no power over them. He's just a mortal. He cannot amass the masses to turn on them who are in control. If you understand Joseph Smith's prophecies, Constitution shall hang by a thread, which was not actually his prophecy. The 19 July 1840 words it differently, but it's the same concept. The United States government will be in jeopardy. Benson followed it up with saying the Constitution will not be saved in Washington. Yeah, he knows. He's a part of the evil church, the great and abominable. Remember, founded by the devil, which means its symbol is the sign of Lucifer, which is the inverted pentagram. And what's on headquarters at Temple Square? So it's not complicated to identify the enemy. They've exposed themselves. They don't call themselves the enemy. They don't call themselves worshipers of Satan. Trump himself said, "I'm the chosen one." Nelson presents an idol god for all Mormons to worship. Puts the idol statue on top of the church, even. As if he didn't even have a clue as to how to properly symbolize things. But he doesn't even know Hebrew. Again, they're not translators. If they're not translators, guess what? They're likely not prophets, seers, and revelators either. And I know Mormons. They're all waiting for Nelson to tell them what to do. To say, oh, we're going back to Missouri. Okay. Oh, no, we're going to stay here instead. We're going to build Zion for the millennium here. Okay. That's how Mormons are. They're sheep. And they're getting devoured by the wolf in sheep's clothing. Because they're sheep. And so ex-Mormons have likewise been fooled. You know well enough that the church is evil, but then where do you turn for truth? See, your whole life has been raised by the church lying and deceiving you about how to turn to truth. And so when you find out the church is evil, you go through your faith crisis, and you have no clue how to live your life anymore. They got you. They got us all. And ex-Mormons fall for blaming Joseph. Where I've been trying to tell you, no, that is the source for truth. The Book of Mormon is not a translation. The Book of Mormon is not an actual history of the indigenous people of America, but it contains true principles to live by. Plus it's encoded, warning us, giving us the dates. And so what this knucklehead does not understand is that if it's not me, then who? Because Nelson, as nobody wants to acknowledge, where is it? Yeah, fruits of LDS prophets are infection and death. That was the last one I did. Only has 29 views, which is previous average. But yeah, Mormons refuse to accept this. No, he's not murdering us, Travis. He's giving us life. He's the prophet of God. He speaks for Jesus. Mormons will go down in denial to their deathbed, never blaming the church, never holding the church accountable. I have seen this time and time and time again, where the church is part of the cause of suffering, and Mormons say, no, I can't sue the church. They're the church of God. It's Jesus who runs this church. I can't sue them. I can't hold them accountable. I can't ask for them to compensate for damages caused to me. And so then you get the Boy Scouts. Perfect example. If it hadn't have been for the class action, the multiple thousands of boys who have been sexually abused in Boy Scouts because of the church would never have justice. This is how the church is so evil. So again, who are you looking for? Who are you expecting? Or have you just given up hope altogether because you were given false hope? And so to mask your trauma, you just cancel out everything. They've played us. They know how to play us, and they did it. They succeeded. They're winning. We're about to have war break out. Don't think that Trump is just going to no longer be president on the 20th. He knows he can't. He knows he must stop it. He has got a plethora of lawsuits, federally and state, as well as civil, with all the women he's raped and had them sign a non-disclosure agreement. So what else do I say? My sole purpose for these past going on 5 years now. 5 years? 17, 21, 4 years. Has been to warn you, to try to save your lives, while the church trying to murder you. So it doesn't matter who I am. That shouldn't be your judgment. If I don't fit your mold as to who I'm supposed to be, why are you looking for someone else? Why are you still sticking with the church? Waiting for them to tell you what to think, what to believe, how to act, when they're murdering you. Why do you not want to follow somebody who's trying to save your life? So again, I will put out the warning that when it all hits the fan, because my dream seems to indicate that that's the symbolic scenario, that it's just going to happen and there will be no actual leading by any one individual. people are just going to continue to go their own way during destruction. And that's exactly what they want, because it's easy to pluck us off if there is no leadership, no group to stand up against them, no organization to contend against them. And so, like I said, meet in Denver, Colorado. Right as you enter, there's an Amazon warehouse just off the freeway, the 70. Meet there first. Not just for Utahns, everybody. Meet there. You will know it when it's time. We'll do a collection of who's survived and what resources we have available to us. But don't be fooled into the false hope that Trump would never cross the line of declaring martial law or invoking the Sedition Act, the Insurrection Act, or whatever it's called. He's already said he's going to do it. Others have told him and told us he's going to do it. He keeps crossing those lines. We know him. He will cross that line. Don't be surprised if he calls on his friends, who are our enemies, to come and join him. And so you will know it when it happens. So if there are anybody listening this far into this video, if you don't believe me now, remember this when the day comes.